Let's talk all things organisation. I spent the last 3 years decluttering my home, and decluttering has made a huge difference to how easy it is to organise and to tidy and to clean. And one thing I found that there are some really simple, easy organisational hacks that make life that little bit easier. So I wanted to share with you all the different strategies that I've either tried or that I'm planning to try to make sure that I keep on top of the clutter and keep an organised home. So I've got some great organisational hacks for you today. Hi, my name's Rachel. I do videos about decluttering, minimalism and my no spend year, and today we're talking organisation. So I already share little acts of decluttering every day, and I share them in a monthly video, and you can get a free calendar download on my website declutteryourlife.co.uk. But obviously you may have decluttered lots already now, and you may be thinking, well, how do I organise my spaces so that they don't become cluttered again? And this is what I used to do. I used to spend hours organising my home, hours and hours reorganising, then reorganising again, and I wasn't really getting anywhere. The clutter would still appear, it would still build up, and it didn't ever feel like it was under control. I have implemented lots of organisational hacks and strategies within my home, or I'm going to implement some in my home to really help me keep on top of the organisation and the visual clutter. So let's start with some of my favourites. My absolute favourite is to compartmentalise inside drawers. So I do this with my makeup drawer. I have got trays or little containers, kind of like little baskets, and I use that to contain categories of items within the drawer. And this means that they are all in place, they don't move around when I open and close the door, and it just makes life that little bit easier. I can then take one thing out at a time to clean it, and it just means that it's manageable and it doesn't move and it doesn't migrate within the drawer. So it just means that I know exactly where my lipsticks are, I know exactly where my face products are, and I can easily grab it and put it back with ease. Everything fits, and I make sure that I don't have more than the space that I have required for each of those little trays. So compartmentalising a drawer is a great way to keep it organised. You could also do this within the kitchen, within a kitchen drawer. I actually only have one kitchen drawer, which is for cutlery and some utensils. I do compartmentalise the cutlery in a cutlery holder so that everything is separate and it doesn't move around. But obviously there is space that I could have done more, but I couldn't fit anything else that I needed in there other than what's already in there. So I think I will leave it for now, but if I had more room, I would possibly put my spices in there in a drawer, because I feel like that's a nice easy access to the spices. So it's something to consider. One area that I do need to do this for is my cable drawer. I've got a drawer in my front room where I put all my cables and my little electronic stuff, and it just feels cluttered and chaotic. So what I am going to do, I'm going to get some more container trays and I'm going to put them within that so that I can have an easier storage solution so that everything fits and it doesn't move around. That's the problem when I open and close the drawer, it just moves around. And I've done the similar thing with my stationery. It's got a compartment for the pens, so a big area for pens, and then other little bits are within a little organiser. The next thing I do that makes life a little bit easier is with my Tupperware lids, I actually use a letter holder to store some of them upright. I don't have all of them fitting in there, but it's a great way of utilising something that I already had to keep things upright so that I can easily grab and reach for them. You could do something very similar with a CD holder as well, like a CD rack. You could put individual lids within it, and you could also do something very similar for saucepans and for saucepan lids. It's a great way of keeping things separate and upright so you're better utilising the space. My next organisational hack is I have a dedicated space for a category. So shoes have a dedicated drawer in my wardrobe. My son has a dedicated basket under the stairs, and everything has a specific place that it lives. It makes it much easier to tidy and to throw things in, and I don't feel like I'm working out where things are. It's really easy for reaching for things and putting things back. You might want to organise your work area or your office space in a similar way. Have things contained in their category so that it's easy to find things, have things really easily labelled and compartmentalised, and then you know that that's a dedicated space for a certain category of things. So paperwork is all in that drawer, files are in another, receipts are in another, so that it's all organised in a really clear visual manner. Another strategy you could use if you're trying to maximise space is to use hooks, like over the door hooks on bathroom doors and on bedroom doors, or you could do little hooks on the back of the door if you'd rather not have the hanging bit. It just means that you've got the opportunity to put some things up on the door where they are out of sight. It's quite handy for putting towels hung up in the bathroom, using the door space, rather than having to find a dedicated space to put a towel rail. That would make it easier to utilise the space. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and press the bell for notifications and subscribe so that you can be notified about new videos that I upload. Another organisational hack for you is to create additional shelves or additional risers for things to utilise the upward space. So I particularly used like risers for my plates. So I've got a plate stacking system. I've also used risers to store little miniature bowls. I've also put extra shelving within my food cupboards. You normally get one shelf in each food cupboard, and I went and got extra shelves to fit into each food cupboard so that I had 2 extra shelves. So there were 3 spaces within a cupboard, so that I can maximise the space. Otherwise there was big gaps and I wasn't really filling it for the products that I use. So I added in extra shelves. So that's a great way of utilising some of the space. If you can get some extra shelving within your cupboards, it means that it's easier to access, easier to store things, and it just makes things that little bit more user-friendly. A great easy system for certain items is baskets. I love baskets, I love containers. I've used baskets within my food cupboards, I've used baskets under my desk to store hairstyling products, and I've used baskets or basket system within my son's room for his clothing because it's an easy throw-in system, easy to get out as well. So it's about simplifying the system, and that is one easy way to simplify it, is by having a basket that has a handle. I've also done it for some of my recycling as well. I've got a basket with a handle so that I can throw things in and I can easily take it out to the box to recycle. I do a very similar kind of open basket that I store all my crisps and snacks in, and they are on the counter so that it's easy access for myself and my son, and it's easy to see what I've got so that I know when I'm shopping what I need to buy to fill up the gaps. You can also use baskets for storing blankets and throws and things like that in. So that's something that I don't have within my front room. I store my blankets on my chairs to make it easier, and it kind of adds to the texture and the feel of the room. But you could have a basket that had all your blankets stored in if that's something that you preferred. Another great way to maximise the space in your wardrobe and in your cupboards is to fold things correctly. So if you don't know already, Marie Kondo shows you how to fold neatly by using thirds. It's a really great way of folding your clothes and then stacking them within your drawers so that you can maximise the space. Usually it does give much better space ratio so that you can either fill it with more stuff that you want to keep, or it just means that you can maximise the amount of items within a drawer, for example. Another thing to do is to include tiered shelving. This is great for using to store spices so that you can see all the spices that you have, or maybe all the cans that you have in the cupboard, so that it's easier access, especially if you've got deeper cupboards. That just gives you that better visual for your items. One of my favourite organisational hacks within my wardrobe is to organise everything by colour. So I have things sorted into their categories, so all jumpers together, all blouses together, all long sleeve tops, short sleeve tops, but within that I organise them by colour. It just means that I can easily see what I need by having that clear visual, and I can then piece together and colour match outfits because I can see the colours of the outfits more clearly. If you're thinking about colour coding, you can also apply this to files or folders so that each family member has a certain colour folder to make it easier to store people's paperwork. You could also colour code within your business stuff as well. Another favourite organisational hack is to have a one in, one out policy. A one in, one out policy helps you to maintain the level of items within each category, because if you bring in an item into your home in a certain category, you would then look at removing an item that you no longer want from within that category as well, so that you're maintaining the level. It just helps you to keep on top of the clutter and keep things at a manageable level. As you're decluttering and sorting things out, don't forget to think about how you maybe could utilise things in different ways. If you've got some small older bowls, they might be great ways of containing items within a drawer or within a container. So think about how you could repurpose items such as bowls or trays or baskets within your home so that you can have a more organised strategy. Another thing that I love and I have recently introduced is using clear canisters to show my food. I haven't done it for every food item, but certain things like pasta and rice is a really great way of seeing exactly what you have and being able to not have the need for over labelling within my cupboard. So it's really clear what I've got, and I use things enough to know that they're not going to go out of date because I only have what I use. But clear canisters help me to see really clearly what I have in the cupboards. Another favourite that I introduced was a lazy Susan for my spices and my herbs. It just rotates around so that I can easily find what I'm looking for when I'm cooking, and it's right in the cupboard next to the cooker, so it's really easy access. I've seen some people use this method for having utensils in containers on a lazy Susan so that it spins around and you can easily access them all. You could also do it with bottles such as vinegar bottles or oil bottles as well. And the last thing that I've introduced is containers within my fridge. This is very new to me because I have got quite a smallish fridge and it does need to cater for the types of items that I buy, but I have now introduced containers for fruit and for veg, so it's really easy and clear to see what I've got, and it's really easy to grab the tray out and get everything ready for cooking. So I love clear containers within the fridge as well. So there are my organisational hacks that I find really helpful for maintaining a clutter-free home. They are simple systems that really help me to keep on top of everything and make it really easy to clean and tidy, which is absolutely the goal for me. Let me know in the comments below if you have tried any of these or if you're going to try any of these and how you get on. And I shall be back for more videos soon. Take care. Bye.